Good day. Welcome to Education and Safety, Hiking, Bushcraft and Survival, Journeys and Adventures, and sometimes we have some entertainment. Today we are taking a hike in Hummingbird Springs Canyon, Red Spring. Also, we're going up to the top of the Sharkfin Trail today. It's beautiful. It's 12 noon. It's in February 2023. Temperature is probably 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're giving our walking stick a test drive. The one I just made with the other one. I'm taking the one that has the top filled in and a little curve, and we're going to give it a test. Now remember, this one's like 48 inches, which is 12 inches to a foot. 12 and 12 is 24. 24 and 24 is 48. So this is about 4 feet. Recommended height, if you're going to be doing some really serious climbing, is between 4 and 6 feet. 5 and 6 feet is actually a little bit better, just because you have a longer reach. You can utilize it for a lot of other things. But today we're going to take a hike. We're going to use it for some different things, and I'm going to show you what I can actually use the hiking stick with. And the first thing we're going to kick it off with is this right here. Let's just take a little walk first, and I'll show you. So the first thing is, I just want to mention to you, is you're looking where you want to place your feet when the hiking stick point of contact with the ground is not as important on this kind of area here, as long as you're not putting it on the edge of a large boulder. Now, when you get into other types of terrain, then you're going to be more concerned about the placement, perfect placement with your hiking stick, so that you always get it in the right point, and so that it doesn't slip and twist and so forth. Now, the most important thing here is always watching where you walk. Your feet are the most important thing, so make sure that you're placing your feet like you're hiking with flip-flops on. And check out my strap. I actually had this leather piece of strap that I put on top of the hiking stick, and this is what it looks like. Notice that I can let it go. I can catch it again. And also too, we decided to put the strapping in the front, which gives me some grip, and it's smooth in the back right here. Smooth in the back, grip in the front. And if I want to, I can go this way with it. I can come down from the top and hold it this way too. So then it's not, the strap isn't between my hand and the grip, as you can see. Now, if I drop it now, it's just going to let go, and I'll bring it right back up again. Let it go, bring it right back up again. Now, the faster you drop it like this, it comes right back up, okay? So, let's get going. I'll show you how I'll use it on a bank over here right now. All right, so I'm going to go back to this grip where it's dangling, and then I grab the strap between my hand and the grip, and we're going to get going. It's about 12 noon here, and we got a great day ahead of us. And if we see wildlife, we see it. If we don't, we don't. Today, this Redrock area is packed with people, so we're going to see probably people along the way. We'll try to see if we can find some wildlife, because the people usually, like, you know, sometimes in the morning, if they come up early to hike, they'll actually push the wildlife from the sides into the shrubs, and you know, so you never know what you're going to find. But let's just get going here. It's a gorgeous day outside, beautiful temperature, and I'll show you what I can do with my hiking stick in a moment. All right, here we go. Remember, always hike like you have flip-flops on. So these are kind of steps you don't want to just step like this. Twist your ankle. Okay? You don't need to step here. You don't need to step there. Step where it's flat. Okay, flat, 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 always flat. Okay, if you think a rock is sturdy, that's fine, but most of these rocks in the deserts aren't sturdy. Just like this one right here. You step on this one, it's going to go in here. You step there, you step here. See, nothing. And the most important thing is, after a rain in the desert, believe it or not, even on the trails, they puff out because the deserts are sand. And then when they puff out, all the rocks start floating in the air on the sand, and you don't really realize it. So it can be very, very treacherous. Now, let's just say you come up upon a bush or some areas that you think there might be some kind of like snakes or something like that, and you have to go through the area. You can use your hiking stick like this. Grab it like that. All right. If you have no choice to go through here, test the area. All right. If something's going to do anything, it's going to do it and go after the stick. Just like that. Always be aware of where you're hiking and where you're walking. All these things too are all super sharp. Super sharp, and I'm telling you, you can cut yourself really, really bad, easy. And remember, people that wear glasses, like myself, your eyes are protected. Not every bear wears glasses all the time, so you got to be really conscientious of where you stand, where you walk, and when the sun starts going down, you got to even be more aware of any branches, twigs, anything at all. So we're going to get up here, get on the back on the trail, and we're going to head up to the Shark Fin Mountain trail. We're not going to the Shark Fin today. That's a 4 to 5 hour climb, and that's if everything goes okay and you have perfect weather conditions. So the other question is, what else can you use your hiking stick for? You can use it for balance. Okay? If you have to balance and you put your arm out, that's a counterweight. And that counterweight can save you from falling many times. Many, many times. And the way I'm holding it, if I fall, I can open my hand and fall on my hiking stick and not on the ground, which is an important aspect too. So I can open my palm, and if I'm falling, it would go like this. And I wouldn't have my hand all on the ground. That's another aspect of it. So that's really, really important. Now, if something came at me, like a dog or something, or an animal or a mountain lion, besides throwing a rock at it to scare it away, which is vitally important, and always keeping your eyes on the animal the whole time, get your hiking stick ready and put it in front of you. Hold it with 2 hands and use it as a probe. But the most important thing is, if it's a mountain lion, we're not talking about bears, or a dog, or a coyote, or a fox, and it happens to be rapid, or have rabies, and you don't know that, just remember, anything that attacks you, it's either starving, or there's something wrong with it. That's it. It's either want food, something's wrong with it. Very, very seldom does an animal attack you unless there's something wrong with it. Anything in wilderness, or it's starving and it wants to eat. Okay? The other aspect is, if they're trying to protect the den where they sleep at night, if they have babies, things like that. So those are the key ingredients. So now, the other aspect of it is to make sure that you always have your hiking stick out and you always have it ready and utilize it. Let's keep going. So one of the things I want to mention to you too is when you're out hiking, okay, if all of a sudden you hear some birds chirping, flying near you, that's not normal behavior. If a chameleon or a lizard cuts in front of you in your path, don't think it was like oh wow, that was really cool. Many times they're warning you that something's ahead or around you or behind you. So be aware of your wildlife, no matter how big or small. It could be a fly, it could be a bug, whatever it is, there's a chance it's warning you that something's not right, even though it seems beautiful out. Remember, they're out here eating 24/7 days a week, 365 days a year. You're out here visiting their territory. That's the most important thing to remember. And staying aware of it, staying sort of away from where they want to be. And if it's green, lush, and watery, that's where all the food's at. So let's keep hiking. Walking sticks working great so far. All right, so we're almost to the base of the trail to go up Shark Fin Trail. The temperature dropped 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are now, no winds at the base and the desert floor. Now the winds are probably about, I'd say 5 to 12 miles an hour, which brings the temperature down quite a bit, even more as a wind chill factor. I took off my hiking vest and just have a t-shirt and this fleece on me right now, and we're gonna go up. When I get to the top, rest, change out my undershirt and dry out and see what's up there, see if there's any interesting new wildlife that came out. I did see a lot of it looks like ground squirrels that were living up there, and we'll see if they're still there, if they have those burrowing holes in the desert sand. All right, let's keep going. Well, I just heard a fly or a bee fly by me just now. You probably heard that too. So that bee or fly flying by right near me, was it just saying hello? Or was it telling me there's something up ahead? Remember, everything happens for a reason, and warning signs can be subtle. Right here, we have a trail in the desert by an animal. And you can see that it uses it all the time. Now there's no footprints available because it just hasn't rained, but you can see where it's been walked on. And whether it was a coyote, a wolf, or a mountain lion. Something's been using this trail right here, and it's been traveling through here, and it's using it because it's a trail that is, believe it or not, off to the side, which is some interesting aspects of where the rain runs off and so forth. So I came up the side of Shark Fin Trail, and believe it or not, I found a tribal area that's amazing. And this area right here is where a tribe would stay and hang out, and they might even do some type of celebration. But I just want to show you that this right here is very interesting. We have a plateau, okay, and that is to put something on. Let me show you this now. This is interesting. Now, this is not coincidence. You have two rocks right here, okay? So you have a plateau here and a plateau here, and this is not natural. These two rocks right here are not natural. This was shaped, and the reason these are shaped is because they're aiming straight up the trail. And this rock here was placed too. So there's no way that these rocks 1,000 years ago weren't placed there, or a couple thousand, or 5 or 10,000 years ago weren't placed there. They were carved out. They were to aim up the trail, and this piece was put there in order for them to draw on it. And there was probably a drawing on it that told the tribespeople what was up the trail in the direction and so forth. So this is an interesting area right here, and you have to really look hard, but when you find it, you'll see it. So as you can see, this piece right here has a gap in it right here, and this piece has been there for a long time. Now it looks like this piece right here might have moved a little, but this piece here has been here for a long time. And this is not erosion. This is not erosion. This is absolutely a 5 to 10,000, maybe 20,000 year old tribal piece right here, with this right here. Absolutely, no question about it. And they utilize this area here because they could hunt from this area. They can watch the entire landscape of the valley from this area. They can watch from up here on the trail from this area, and they would know that this is the area to go to. And very interesting. All right, let's keep going. All right, so what we have here is the most creative red rock design you can imagine. From thousands and thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of years, this got rained on, it fell, it kept eroding, and eroding, and before you know it, you have all of this red in this mountain area here that's all looking just like this. But that's the way it is, and it's amazing. And yeah, there would be no reason for them to go up this shark fin trail unless they were going towards Mount Charleston to go hunt and gather, because Mount Charleston from foot probably is maybe, I'm gonna say maybe 4, 5, 6 hour hike and direct line over the mountains, and there's trees there, there's a lot more wildlife, everything is up there. So we're going to keep going here and check it out. Check this rock out. This is pretty interesting. Thousands and hundreds of thousands of years old. Really neat. All right, so this is interesting. What an outlook from here. Now, a lot of these big boulders, they could have fallen here, maybe 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago. It depends on how washed and sandblasted the boulder is from rain. I just saw a honeybee. And honeybees will fly far distances for honey. And because these plants are going to probably start to flower soon, and that's what they're looking for. So on a nice warm day, they'll come out, they'll relax, they'll use the bathroom, which is all of wildlife, and then they'll go back to their hive if it gets cold out at night, so that the hive can stay tight together and stay warm. All right, so we're going to keep going. This is really, really cool here. I've wanted to explore this side of the edge of the mountain for a long time, but you definitely don't want to explore the edge of the mountain when there's earthquakes, because this whole area would get bombarded with and pummeled with tons of rocks. And it does happen. Earthquakes do happen in Vegas. Earthquakes happen all over the earth, and you got to be aware that at any time something can fall. Now, being that there's no snow right here and there's not a lot of expansion and contraction going on tremendously with tons of snow, like Mount Charleston might have 500 to 700 inches of snow, this area right here really doesn't get too much snow. If it does, it melts within a day or two. All right, let's keep going. All right, so I came upon this area here, and it looks like, okay, could it be an erosion through water over time? And yes, but and no at the same time. You actually have to stay here on a really heavy down rain to see how much water comes through here. But it almost looks like this is definitely a dwelling that 2, 3, 4 people could stay in if they wanted to. There's another one right here. Okay, that's another dwelling. And there's a dwelling up there too, up top. And believe it or not, these could have been carved thousands of years ago to stay. You got to realize it stays out of the sun, and in the wintertime you get no winds at all. So if it's 20 degrees or 30 degrees out and the wind is howling and it doesn't hit you, by you staying in this area right here, you won't be cold at all, because it's the wind that really is the chill factor. Yes, cold air is cold, but all it takes is a small, wool blanket on top of you to keep the body heat from escaping, and you'll be warm if it's 20, 25 degrees, 20 degrees and windy. So pretty interesting stuff. And this is a large area right here. Check it out. Very interesting. Very interesting. We'll keep going. All right, so we're going to cut through here, back over to the main trail, and up to the top of the shark fin trail. Here we go. So one of the things I wanted to mention is these plants here have tremendous amounts of points. You don't want to be near them. You don't want to walk near them. You don't want to potentially fall on them. You don't want to even go by them. They are tremendously pointy, dangerous, and avoid them. Stay far away. Okay, so now I got my palm on top of the walking stick and I'm traversing sideways across the slope. So as I walk, I make sure I get a good step, and I'm putting my walking stick on the down part of the slope and make sure that it's secure, but also too mostly relying on my steps, just like that. And you can see that I'm securing it. Okay, and once it's secure, I can take a step. And that's going sideways across a slope, which is the most of the time, besides going downhill, is the most slipperiest. So we're gonna get back to the trail and get to the top of the shark fin trail. All right. Keeping my hand on top of the hiking stick for balance, and that's on my downhill the slope. So, all right, let's keep going. So we're headed up the trail, and let's see what time it is. It's 1:50 p.m. We started at 12 noon, so that's 2 hours, but that's doing a lot of looking around and researching and checking things out. Let's get to the top. We're almost there. We're just getting to the top here of the shark fin trail. Pretty cool stuff. And check it out. Pretty neat. And we got this whole view of Shark Fin Mountain, and it is absolutely amazing. So you'll see it right now. Here we go. This is it right here it is. This is the trail that goes down here. So this is the top of Sharkfin Mountain, and as you can see, there's some vegetation that lives up here, and it's pretty neat. And it's, you can see here's like a canyon there. It's pretty neat and very nice, and let's go check it out. So what we have is a little oasis up here because it's shaded enough, water's captured, and it's a pretty neat little trail, and we can take a look. So it comes through here and winds on out, and this is the top of Sharkfin Trail. And if I turn around, you'll see that there is the shark fin. So what we have here is a really cool spot that's neat and interesting. And behind me is I think it's a bristlecone pine tree, I'm pretty sure. And there's all kinds of wildlife that lives up here. Check out the trails. So you have all kinds of little critters that walk up here. This is a really neat pine tree right here. This is like the only shade you can get right here. And it's nice and shaded. The water stays in there, and it's facing east. So basically during the whole summer, this pine tree is shaded. So it stays green all the time. I've always seen it green, and if you look, you can take a look. There you go. The pine needles are definitely got some texture in it and so forth, and got some really good texture, and it's really, really neat. So it's pretty nice, and all I can tell you is that that tree stays really good. So let's just keep going. So what we're doing is we're hiking up the lookout. I call this the lookout, which is really neat. And when you get to the top out this way, the lookout faces south, and it's got some great views. So this is it. We're almost there. Check this out though. Let's keep going. We're almost there. And this is a really neat place to check out, and different temperatures and weather and stuff like that. So yeah, it's quite interesting. So let's just keep checking it out. All right, always got to look where you're walking. Stepping and walking. There you go. And we're almost there. Okay, so let's get up there. Watch your steps here. This is quite interesting. This is a little twig from a cactus, and this is the view right here. Let's get up there. I'm going to take a photograph here first. All right, so we're getting to the top here. We're getting to the top of the mountain. Let's check it out. Here we go. All right, I want to give you some education, a little tip. Some people, when they hike, they carry a thermos. The thermos has a lid. The lid's not attached to the thermos. If you drop the lid and you can't get the lid, your thermos basically at this point, unless you have rubber bands and plastic to cover the top, is useless. So always take 2 or 3 thermoses with you. If you have a plastic bottle like this, okay, I'll keep a small one of these in my back pocket and keep refilling it, and I have extra plastic lids in case I drop one. You got to realize when you drop something out here, sometimes you just can't go get it. It falls somewhere that you don't want to get it to risk yourself. And I'll keep sometimes I'll just buy a bottle of water and then I'll keep refilling the small one. But when I throw these and recycle them, I'll keep the plastic caps and I'll keep some in my backpack just in case I drop them. I'm sure there's plenty of stories of people losing their lids to their thermoses, and now they can't really carry any liquids around in the thermos. So the most important thing is to always make sure that somehow your lid to your thermos is attached to the thermos bottle. Now, if you drop the thermos and the thermos lid in the bottle and everything's gone, all I can tell you is have a backup in your backpack. All right? Things that you really need, have 2 and 3 of them. Most important thing. All right? We're going to hike back down from the Shark Fin Trail. This is the Shark Fin North Lookout. Looking north, out this way, behind me. And if I just do a 360 here, or 180-degree turn, you'll see that behind me is Shark Fin Mountain. From this point where I'm standing, from where the car is parked down at the base of the mountain, it's about an hour, hour and a half hike up to this point. Faster if you don't take any breaks. From this point to the top of the Shark Fin, I'm going to say it's another 3 to 4 hours. It gets real serious once you get to the base of that mountain, because then it's a direct climb straight up to the top and then to the top of the Shark Fin. Now, there's people that I spoke to that said you can go the back way and park in the back parking lot, which is the paid parking lot for the national park, and then there's a trail that takes you up the back way. I'm not aware of that. I haven't gone up there yet. If I'm going to go, I'm going to probably go this pathway. I'm going to find the trail that goes this way to make it a more adventurous journey and a more adventurous hike. So, but it's not as necessarily as unsafe, because if you go at the right time of the year and you take plenty of water with you and food and everything, you can easily make that hike. And it's just, a little bit more, maybe there might be some more steep areas that you have to climb in, but I'm not sure. So I got to find out more about it before I go up there. And so that's it. Let's hike on back down Shark Fin Trail, and hope you enjoyed the video so far today and the filming. One other note I meant to mention, taking some type of scarf with you. You can use it as a sling. You can use it to protect your neck from wind chill, because that's where you're going to lose your temperature. So whether you keep the scarf in your backpack in a plastic bag or in some kind of side container on your backpack, I highly recommend taking a scarf when you're hiking in the wintertime anywhere you go, because you can really save the heat from coming out of your neck. And if it gets really cold, believe it or not, you can actually take your hat off, and as long as you have a scarf on, your head will actually stay warm, because you'll be able to dissipate the moisture from your head. And sometimes you don't want to just keep all of their heat in your body. Sometimes you want to let some out and then let some in and let some out and experiment with it. So take a scarf with you, take dry clothes when you get to the top of wherever you're hiking, change out. You're going to feel so much better, and you're going to love your journeys and adventures, your hiking, bushcraft, and survival. And let's get back down this mountain. All right, so now we're headed back down the mountain. And believe it or not, the hike back down sometimes is just as fun as the hike up the mountain. So we're going to descend and go down. Ascending is going up. Now we're going back down. So let's go check out what we can see and find. It's a beautiful day. Right now it's not even windy right where I'm standing. So let's go take a look. Here we go. And one of the most important things is just because a rock looks like it's stable on the side of a mountain, it could be ready, it could be big, it could be 200, 300, 400, 1,000 pounds. And as soon as you step on it, it falls, and hopefully you don't fall first and then it falls on you. So just make sure that every step you really look and see where you're stepping. So I'll tell you, it's just, the sandstone out here is not a stable rock. It's very, very, very brittle. It erodes quick. It expands and contracts a lot. And you got to be careful. All right. One other note that I wanted to mention is when you hike, your legs, especially if you go up a mountain, your agility and your ability is okay going up, and your legs are shot, tired, fatigued going down. Possibly you didn't drink enough liquids. Possibly you didn't eat enough food when you got to the top and relaxed. So you're asking for trouble on your balance and making really good decisions on where to step, where to walk, and how to use your hiking stick. And be more conscientious walking down, because going down can be as treacherous as going up. And today I'm on my feet almost 3 hours now, 2.5, 3 hours. That's a long day climbing up a mountain. If you're hiking on trails that don't have a lot of altitude, that's a different story. But I'm just going to, I already ate some food, drank water, had some walnuts, had a small apple, and probably, what else did I have? I'm trying to think. I think that was pretty much it. But all right, let's get back down the mountain. It's amazing how much sand has accumulated here over thousands of years in this area from all of the sandstone washing down into this area. Amazing, really amazing. Now we're going to go down. All right, we're going to head down the trail, and if you come upon someone walking up a trail, it's best to step to the side and let them come up. I think that's good. And or if they just wave you on down and say, hey, come on down, then go ahead and go past them. But yeah, sometimes trails are really narrow, and you definitely need to step to the side, you know, a couple feet, 10 feet, 15 feet, whatever. Give them room and let them hike safely. So that's it. Here we go. So the other thing that you got to think about is that you just hiked up a mountain for 3.5 hours carrying possibly 20 pounds of gear with you on your backpack. You know, 10, okay, 5 or 10, and 5 or 10 pounds is a whole lot. So 20 or 30 is even more. So you got to be really careful about that. And you're going to fatigue faster. It's like going to work and carrying around 20 pounds in your backpack for 4.5 hours. Try it sometime and see how your day goes. All right, we're going to keep going. I'm amazed at how much, believe it or not, this trail has eroded. I am talking about it has absolutely, this year, with the rains that we had recently, this trail is shot. I mean, it is absolutely shot. Almost like you're just hiking in the mountains, believe it or not. So there must have been so much erosion, and which means there's tons of stones all over the place. So it's not packed anymore. So therefore, if it's not packed, every step you take coming back down, you're sliding. Every step you're climbing up, you're not getting a full grip. Now, I didn't come up this trail here, but I've come up this trail a few times, believe it or not, many times, and it has changed drastically. Now, whether or not I'm on the right side of the trail, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's changed. I can't imagine the massive amounts of water coming down this mountain when it rained. Massive. I mean, just like a waterfall coming down. This was not a trickle that moved all these stones. This was a lot of water. And we're going to keep going. Now remember, on the hike down, you can, on a short walking stick like the way this one is, you don't want to necessarily hold it on the grip or just right here. You could hold it right here if you wanted to, okay? But I'm going to hold it so that some of my hand is at the top of the grip right here. And then if I want to palm it like this, I can. And that way I got some leverage on the way back down. But I'm not really relying on the hiking stick, because if you rely on it and something happens, if it breaks or if it slides out from a rock, you're going to be in trouble. But yeah, this area right here changed. That's changed drastically. So all of these rocks here, it was never like this before. Now it's going to take a lot of hikers to pound out all of the sandstone dust until it gets packed down again. Oh. But anyway, yeah, this being the way it is right now, if you were going to say how hard was it to hike this, I would say to hike up it would have been probably, if it was rated, let's say you rated it from 1 to 10, and it was like a, let's say it was like a 5 or 4 hiking this, meaning, you know, you just use your feet, your hiking stick, and you go up, and you don't have to crawl or climb or anything. But now with it, you definitely need a hiking stick. Very advisable. Definitely going to slide around a lot. And on the way back down, it has become even harder. So it moved from a 5 going up to a 7, coming back down with the way the trail is right now, because it's all fluffy and so forth. I'm going to have to say it's like a 7 or an 8. Not in means of steepness, but just on like every step could slide out because of all the little stones. Now this one's, that's not moving. That's an anchored stone, and you can pretty much count sure that that's not going to move. This probably isn't going to move right here, but everything else, it's just everything. You know, you step on that and it just slides right out. Then you got stones like this, you step on that, you twist your ankle. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Now you have cactuses. Stay away from cactuses, leave them alone, and they have more of a right to be out here than you do. So let all the environment, enjoy the environment. But yeah, it's amazing. This trail has just absolutely eroded and changed drastically. All right, we're almost halfway down, and then we got another 20 minutes in the desert to walk, depending on the route I take. This here, look at this. This looks easy, but it's not. Okay. Oh, you know, you fall right here and you twist and you get caught in these two rocks. You could very, very much easily break your femur, fibulae, and femur, or twist your ACL, MCL, and meniscus tissue. Or if you fall wrong, you could break your collarbone. You can wreck your rotator cuff. So I'm not sure where this trail's going, but I'm gonna head. This is very strange. I am going to head back down this way. Okay, so I gotta say this, that the trail has eroded completely, and it is all small stones, sand, and if you don't take the right hiking shoes and gear and watch every step, this trail has become way more difficult. Way, like it was at maybe a 3 or a 4. I'm going to correct myself, and now coming down it's like almost like an 8 or a 9. Every step has to be perfect, or you could easily just slide right out and really take havoc on your hands, and cut yourself up pretty bad. So yep, I'm pretty much amazed on this, how this eroded. So that's pretty much it. All right. All right, so thanks for joining me today on this trip. Hope you got some good education. This trail here, Shark Fin Trail, has gotten very serious, and thanks for watching Education and Safety, Journeys and Adventures, Hiking, Bushcraft, and Survival, and sometimes we get some entertainment. So until again, make your own journeys and adventures, have fun, be super safe, and always take 2 or 3 things with you if they're important when you hike or do anything. If you travel in your car, 2 or 3 of everything, because if one doesn't work, the other one will, and that's important. Now, do you need everything? No, but you definitely need quite a bit. So until again, thanks again, enjoy your day, and thanks for watching. See ya.